Welcome to SolidCAM Professor. I'm Sydney, your SolidCAM Professor, with one of many videos available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. In this series of recordings, we'll be going through the SolidCAM settings and learn exactly what defaults they control in the program itself. SolidCAM settings is where you can actually control where everything is done in the program and also what default values you want to have in several fields. We'll start off with the first one on top called User Directory. When choosing User Directory, the window in the right hand allows you to choose the following. Allows you to choose the default location of where you want to store your CAM parts. You can use whatever written over here or browse to a different location on your computer. If you have several CAM part directories that you've chosen in the past, you can actually click on the arrow and choose which one you want as your default. Now, just because I chose this as a default does not mean I have to use that as my location. It just means that it's the default and I can always change it later on. Next, we have user directory for system additional files, which can be placed in the same way that we changed the top over here. Next, we have our threading table, which is an Excel file for where we store our threading tables, which is used for thread mill. So for example, I can keep it in a specific location as shown over here, or browse, save it from 8 different locations. I usually keep it exactly where the default is from the program because that's the actual table that I will always need. The last field in this window is the iMachining database. This is the default location of where we have the database of all the different information needed for the iMachining database for machines and materials. Now let's go down in our left-hand column to our next line called Units. In the Units windows, we can choose whether we're working in metric as default or inch as default. Also, what's the external fillet maximum radius and the digits that we want after the decimal point itself. If we go into our next line, default CNC Controller, this actually shows us where the default location of our post processors are. I can have it as shown over here, or I can actually go to a different location where on my computer where I have my post processors stored. I'll click that particular location. I'll click on OK. As you can see, it has been changed to my new location. If I were to open up the arrow over here, you can see I can still go back to my old location as well. Over here, we can choose the default CNC controller that we want to use. Whenever we start our program. This does not mean that we have to use that particular machine, but this will be just the default machine, and this is good. There's a particular machine that you use more often than other machines. For example, I'll choose one that is G-Milling Haas SS 3-axis. We also have the same for choosing for a turning CNC controller, as well as a mill turn and wire cut as well. For more videos on SolidCAM Professor, please go to our website www.solidcam.com and look for the tab called SolidCAM Professor. Thank you for joining us on SolidCAM Professor. Take care and have a nice day.